Actually, wait, what is going on here? Are we already in game?
Bring them down.
I'm so confused. I believe we're already in game and we just missed Agent Select. We are just full sending it into the server. I think that's what's happening. I hope Jade is going instantly inside of 2, but Mimi and Mary are just holding hands and finding the kills. I think Acend were as surprised as we were to find themselves on that site.
Yeah, they get so many picks as well. Very, very crucial here. And now it's just going to come down to Amy. Has been a phenomenal player. And I think one of the things that was highlighted was the impact that she has on the Killjoy. But having switched roles here in a 1v4 against the likes of G2 Gozen, it's going to be a very, very tough fight for her to take, especially with Spike being dropped in that particular awkward angle. Mimi caught looking at the wall, a very rare miss from her. And Amy will at least be able to get that first fight done with. Grabs the Spike as well. Looks to get a little bit more here, but unfortunately, it is going to be Roxy saying Viper diff right there as G2 get their first pistol in the way.
1 minute, so it'll only break at 20 seconds into the round. This almost forced Acend to split over towards the A site, and with Amy finding 2 opening kills on the lurk, that's everything you could have asked for.
Nasty shots coming out. Being able to take down Mary on that angle is one thing. Expecting her to be there on that angle is one thing. But that second one, that was just something that Amy had no business getting. Has been the pop-off player multiple times for this team, and this is exactly why. Now towards the backside, Petra, all alone, goes a little bit too far. And once again, there's just no potential for a trade as that Spike goes down. Mimi and Roxy, they do have a rival, but there's so much work to do. Yeah.
HTM knows exactly what's happening. Heard that player sprinting around in through spawn, so G2, even though trying to win out in this round with 5 rifles, get absolutely cooked up by this Amy lurk. And
they know that G2 have like limited amount of utility, like exactly like you mentioned, and with that Trailblazer kind of being scouted out here, it's gonna make things even more difficult for G2 if they're not careful about it. Mimi, though, holding this nasty angle here with the help of the Guardian, will be able to get a crucial kill, taking down Schnell. That's gonna be the raise offline, and just like that, with the amount of poison orb slash walls that G2 have on this B side, it's enough for Mimi and Roxy to hold on together.
And it's really hard to get out of hookah without the raise to sort of satchel her way in, so they're going mainly through Octagon now. 3 players ready, and Mimi underneath hookah. This is a tough spot to clear away as they come around the corner. No one's ready for it. It's just a 1-for-1 though. And 2 players now pushing out of the back site. Roxy finds hers. HTM isolated here as Glance finds yet another kill. And Roxy finishes the job. G2 get their 3rd round.
Huge kill there. Amy being taken down. That's lurk potential taken out of play. No Viper utility available for post-plant either. And now Petra with the flash does sense people scaling up. Mimi with this nasty angle, especially when that wall breaks, will be able to just reposition and hold down, trying to get that headshot in. Acend, they regroup to try and hit this B site, looking at where they are.
Yeah, and I mean, even if Acend weren't...
Oh my god.
Oh, I mean, Mimi just slaughters them, yeah. It's just so tough at this point in the game. 3 versus 5, 40 seconds. You're walking into the utility. Now they're aware of that angle close on the side. HTM finds that one. Still no control over hookah though. And also Petra backside doing everything to stop this hit from happening. Lateu has no option to try and get back in the site apart from players peeking her 1 by 1.
Just get the first kill onto Roxy. Aware of this, where Petra is exactly. The paint chills as well to boot. It is going to let her run away and possibly get a spike down onto this A side. But a 1v3 scenario that she will have to somehow clutch out. Already has a Hunter behind her as well. And now Spike planted in a super open angle. Not many areas that she could really have gone off to after getting it down. And it's going to be, to insult to injury, it is going to be the Trailblazer to clear her out there. Lance will be able to get the kill quite easily off the back of that. And
Roxy just has the cutest emotes on Twitch. I'm sorry. It's just a fact. As Schnell goes dive bombing into the site, Mimi is there, and there's no way you're getting past that. Oh man, Mary into the teleport as well. The showstopper, the operator. Ridiculous.
Doesn't even take any damage while pulling off that high stakes maneuver. Well, it does seem like yet again, despite that little bit of a breather that we had, Acend, they haven't found anywhere close to piecing the puzzle that G2 has set up for them, and they're just struggling to really find impact. Despite having quite a bit of utility in their pocket, it seems like they are favoring to kind of go in for these dry peaks, hoping to catch the timing on G2 here. But G2, they're just not biting. They're just so good at playing off of each other, and Acend, they just seem to lack the same synergy on this map. Now, though, at least Jade able to find that first opener. So Mimi's there for the trades. All down to Jade. We'll have to ace it out to clutch here with Glance and Mary remaining alive. And with 5 HP and a Dream, I don't know how much more you can really do. Glance is going to get all this information as well.
Yeah, Glance hears the rotate back over towards A. Mary completely prepared for it with the operator posted back
30
triple.
seconds left.
Jade has looked really impressive even in these lost rounds, but it's just not going to be good enough to get past Mary's operator.
Yeah, it's a question of how much control you have, right? Okay, you can avoid hookah, but in that case, you should be trying to be able to get control of CT or elbow, and Petra has just been completely denying that by herself. Even if Roxy or Mimi go down, Petra has been that last resort ironclad that has been completely stopping G2. Now, though, Acend get ready to go for a fast, aggressive push here off the back of the flash. Beautiful kill coming out of HDM. Mimi dodges the flash, able to get that first kill, and now Mimi, it's the Mimi show all day here. Gets 3 before finally being shut down. Jade counters as well. But off the back of that ultimate, it is going to be that last kill that Petra will confirm. Mimi.
Oh, someone's on my screen. Hold on a second. That's crazy. As Amy with this forward position finds 2 kills.
The last time that Acend won a round, it was off of Amy getting 2 kills on the lurk, and she already has that as well. And that's going to be some rifles that can be picked up to boot. Viper Spit also online, and look at where it's being put down. Not only will it cover the spike, it's also going to get quite a bit of control towards CT, and let Schnell play inside it. It is going to be the Seekers invested as well. It seems like Acend, despite this being an eco for them, they're investing everything they have to try and make it work. And it's working.
Yeah, Jade takes it down to 2 versus 4 on the retake. Amy just playing inside of her pit. Nothing you can do there. That's a large showstopper to commit with Lateu coming in from behind. And they've never run into a fight this far forward. Amy is prepared for already coming around the corner. And Jade caught with util in hand. Petra manages to find 2 kills.
Really impactful ones as well because it retains hookah control, and now the 3 players coming in from long, they're gonna have to make this awkward push into the side here. They're surrounded by enemies on every single side of the map. Finally, though, HT was able to get that crucial kill onto Petra, bringing things back down to a 3v3 as they get the spike down. Now it's gonna be a retake attempt. No real ultimates available for either side. The Resurrection Mimi can't really use it considering where the bodies are. Schnell finds a huge pick onto Glance as well to boot, and if Mimi can find this kill onto Schnell, though, it might be the difference maker. Gets Glance up, but Schnell more than ready for it. Gets the kill as well, and now it's down to Mary. A 1v2 to close out. Finds the first very, very clean shots. The HTM has gone the long way around. Done the round here, but again, if you shoot at Mary, you better not miss, because Mary will get you right back, and it's falling apart. That's the best way to say it. And now that their attempts on B have been met with almost no success, they're going back to what has worked for them. The only 2 rounds they won the A side, and they're looking to be super fast about it. Mary already on this off angle, able to find 2 kills, has a showstopper to boot to find the 3rd. Is it 2 HP won't stop her, a 4th, and now we might have our other ace coming in. The ace for Mary, unreal.
Or something over towards U-Haul. Mary is taking that space very, very quickly. And they're taking their time, going for the plant, bringing down the wall first. Going to use the cove to guarantee that. That's the added safety net to make sure this is simple, but that won't avoid the C's and the nade. And that's exactly what Roxy had waiting for. It's a double kill off of the set piece.
That was I remember I was asking why they were playing so slow. Well, now that's clear. Mary taking quite a bit of damage off that second pain shell as well, though still able to anchor down onto this position. And when you don't have a Cypher or Killjoy, you're going to be constantly worrying about this flank. Mimi has to find the perfect timing here. Now that the spike is chopped, you can almost see her looking around. Where exactly do I want to look? Does still find the kill on the flanker, though. That is going to be huge. And this wraparound from Petra, it might be the difference maker here. The last 2 remaining players trying to stick the spike down, but G2, despite losing out initially, they're still able to do so much damage here. Half the defuse has gone through, and Jade has to at least try to stick it. Petra, though, playing it, doesn't take the bait, and that's going to be G2 fighting the pistol once again.
Petra, ice cold there, not swinging around the corner.
Jade, the only person to really try and stand in their way. A stinger in hand, that's going to be all that they have. And Mary, pinpoint, precise aim, able to find a huge opener just like that. They have sight for completely free, though. They're still going to be able to cross their T's and dot their I's as they get into sight itself. A lovely wall as well for Mimi to block off Hookah. Doesn't quite do much, though. Nevertheless, the spike itself will go down, and this is going to be a super awkward retake.
Roxy coming on in. Amy removes her from play, but it's just a ghost on the ground. Nothing that can be taken back. Look how slow Lateu is playing into spawn, really trying to lurk even through her own spawn. It's crazy. As Acend now get out of hookah. Mimi finds the first kill, walking down into tube. Schnell showing up in a big way, pushing into back sight, but Mimi's there for the 2K. It comes down to Lateu to stab them in the back. She finds the first, turns around, but it's Mimi to take the kill. And back on out of there. Glance finishes, and G2 onto map point. Unless the flashes are there and ready to go, which they might into U-Haul. Amy has to D-peek, and yeah, I mean, they're just spacing is perfect. Spacing so important with this comp, and they're not letting Acend get any kills for free.
Yeah, they have managed to once again get that spike down to the code through the code. This time going to be no C Spankos combo available. Roxy as well, more than ready for that second kill as Amy bites off a little bit more than she can chew all alone. Hated the most on the flank here. 3 players remaining for Acend to try and keep themselves alive. Stay
That's rude.
Oh, that's just so sad. Hated the most on the flank, tries to come forward, but the timing is perfect for Mimi as she gets the wall in. A little bit of a distraction play, and it is going to be Lateu fighting 2 somehow, but that's going to be all that happens. G2, a dominating win for them, 13-2 on map number 1, and movements there. And now, once this orb goes down, it does seem like Acend is getting ready to exit onto the site, but there's so much utility in their way under. Look at this, it's going to be...
there we go, Schnell.
Oh, okay.
That's the opener we needed to see from Schnell, finding those 2 now. Backside turns it into a 3rd. G2 get pulverized on the snipe by the Jet, and that'll be the plant down for Acend. Petra should have a flash coming off cooldown relatively soon. A second one to fight in with, but it's really just her and Glance to see if they can find some ones here to get any sort of room back into the site.
Yeah, really super entries there coming out. Now Petra, though, off the back of that paranoia, able to find the second to boot. Schnell no longer on track for the ace, and suddenly a 4v2 becomes a 2v2 here. The spike itself, although, is going to be planted for this long area. This 1v1 will decide quite a bit, and Glance is able to find success there. The smoke goes down to boot, and this nano swarm, it might deter just a little bit of time. Amy has to try and close
It's a
out
full
the
stick.
door.
What?
No! Amy still gets the spam, though.
Paranoia comes out. They can get onto the site. Not really with the molly. Schnell isolated, but there will be a teleport in from Lateu. This fight backside could decide everything. Roxy gets a couple of chip shots. Won't be expecting Schnell to have pushed all the way back into the corner. Mimi finds the first, but Schnell is good on the opener. Mary falls as well to the hands of Jade. And now the site belongs to Acend for the time being. Tough to get the plant off without control over Mound or over Waterfall. And now with the Seekers, they're completely noted. The positions on site, there's nowhere for them to hide.
Oh, it's unfortunate that Jade couldn't break that Seeker there. Now though, Jade looking for the position around, tries to wrap around, but Glance more than ready for it. Just the discipline to tuck herself into that corner. And G2, they find their first round. Very clean retake coming out of them. Had to invest the Seekers, but all things considered, I think that's something that Petra wouldn't mind.
Yes.
Last round. Now though, both sides are going to be having rifles online. Petra looking to go in for a possible flank. Does see the alarm bot, so knows that the Killjoy is probably going to be in the vicinity, probably towards that B site. And in the meantime, the rest of the team, they're willing to get onto this A site, have the Seekers themselves as they try to push forward. They should be able to get it.
Great dog up into mid, though, is going to spot out Amy on the lurk. She's trying to play anti-flash. Will be... Oh, it's a fake flash. Trading 1 for 1, though, may be enough. And the pivot from Acend, after seeing 2 players on A with the Seekers, allows the spike to be planted. They have to push a little bit aggressively towards CT, but HTM falls to Mary's crosshair.
Ooh. Still, though, these positions, this crossfire being held between the Omen and the Jet finds so much value. Mary attempting to get the defuse here, a 1v2 scenario. Schnell has to do so much work, and unfortunately, just not going to be able to get even that first shot. Mary will be able to continue the defuse here. And
Mary coming in with the backstab just absolutely ruined it, and Mary might continue to do damage here. The Paranoia 2 allows a safe escape for Mary. Now she has the Showstopper, but Amy finds that pick, and that opens up plays, opens up options for Acend now to pivot back into Mound and always threaten either B or C. Because of the door, it creates so much pressure onto G2, and the ultimate means they have the site completely unguarded.
Yeah, they make their way on, and Amy being able to find those 2 kills there, absolutely huge. However, G2, they still have the showstopper in their presence, so this retake isn't entirely out of their hands. Not any ultimates left for Acend either on this post plant. It's all gonna have to come down to gunplay here, and Mary already probably expecting someone to have pushed up. In fact, there is gonna be a push, but it's gonna be towards the spawn instead, and it might be a very late lurk coming around. Mimi on the Killjoy opens the door, draws a little bit of attention towards herself, and in the meantime, Mary goes forward into sight, manages to make her way all the way forward, in fact, and this pincer might be enough here. If Glance can get that first kill, not going to be happening though, and it's all down to Mary here. We've seen her work some miracles before, but with that clock being where it is going to run out eventually, and Acend, they take the lead back. Yeah, I think we saw enough of that in our first best of 3. G2, they opted to go in for that C stack once again. Acend, meanwhile, they managed to get onto B site here. They look to go forward through the jet smoke. schnellÄ able to once again dash in. Playing it very slow though, not really getting super aggressive here. Never mind, as I said, I'm looking for a little bit more presence. Doesn't check the corner, and Glass with the off angle gets a perfect kill there. Looking for a little bit more as well. roxi doing quite a bit of damage in the process to HTM. Showstopper invested by Mary. G2 are full sending it down, and that's going to be 2 kills. Mary, that is absolutely legal. What looked like a round that Acend had a sure shot of suddenly falls apart here as between Glance and Mary.
With the option to dash on out, then later she can look for other options. But it's a whole fake with this Viper's Pit trying to pull a player off of A, but Glance isn't activating too quickly. She's so ready for this, but so is Jade. She opens up the A site.
Yeah, that was a very nice bait coming out of HTM that keeps the rotation from really focusing towards this A side. And of course, just the fact that Glance went down there, that's gonna be no more smokes available for the retake, considering all the Viper utility has been committed towards the C side. There's gonna be one wall to work with, but aside from that, not much else. Now Petra trying to make this a little bit more expensive, a little bit heavy here. Mimi also won off the lockdown, so if she can get a kill, it might be the difference maker. Petra also so aware, ready for these lurks coming in, expects the second as well. Might not be able to find the timing here, and never mind, does find the timing, but Amy still gets the kill with that weapon advantage. Now though, this flank is kicking in. roxi and Mary pushing in hard here, and Amy, almost expected here by Mimi, gets the kill. And now these last players, they have so much work to do. schnellÄ finding that first one, Mary there for the trade, and unfortunately HTM not going to be able to stop anything at all on the C side. Seeker is going to be invested by G2 as well to pinpoint where exactly these players are located. That's a 1v1 that was so crucial, and Lateu manages to win it in style here. 5 HP, but that's okay. That's the nice thing about having a Skye. You can always get that overgrowth back in and get back to fighting shape. And now that there's been roxi falling on that C side, it's going to be a little bit of reinforcement coming in. Both Mary as well as roxi there. And early on the lockdown invested, although again, that's going to be the second operator shot that Mary misses here. Amy taking full advantage of to be able to get that kill. Mimi though, a beast defending that lockdown. They have to break it.
Wait, they didn't break it! Oh no! 3 players detained, the entirety of Acend. Glances in the area, goes to the paranoia, comes around the corner, but chokes it. It's only 1 kill. Didn't trust in the lockdown, so used the paranoia, and the critical seconds lost there. May have just lost the round. Petra still with the chance to clutch it out, has the flash, but can't get around the corner in time to get the kill.
Oh, that is so unlucky. There was nobody to capitalize on all 3 of them being detained. If I was Mimi, I'd be laughing, but I would also be so mad. Now though, Petra in a 1v2 scenario has done quite a bit of damage, and if she's able to get one more shot on either of these players, one or two more shots, it might be enough. Does manage to bait the first position out here. Not able to get the shot though, and HTM will.
Look at Glance's positioning. Paranoia ready to go around this corner because the Skye is playing over towards A. They need this paranoia to set up any options. Mary instantly going to punish off the kill, and yeah, exactly what I thought G2 were going to try to set up. A little bit more of a coordinated attack around that area of the map. Through the smoke, Petra finds another kill, and they may end up just gambling a few more. HTM does return the fire onto Petra. But this door's been broken down, and Mimi can look to stab them in the back any given opportunity.
Glance with the Sheriff though, finds that first kill, and now it's going to be a 2v3 scenario here. The remaining players for Acend, they have taken side control. HM in fact backed away in a nice sort of corner waiting for the headshot angle, though Glance is too experienced, too wary to really let that slide through. Now no ultimates available for the side of Acend here. They have to win this 2v3 just off of gunpower. HM forced to play at an aggressive angle as she tries to isolate the fight. holding close. And it seems like, again, Roxy expects it. That's going to be a free kill. And Jade, only so much that she can do. Only so many places that she can look, and Glance will catch her.
Might try to break this Killjoy ult with the paint shells, and that should get the job done. It is broken. They're still zoned off by the smoke. Now Glance is rotated over, but this wall allows them easy access to backside.
Yeah, Schnell leading the charge here, already having found that opener, looking to get as much space as possible, and they do indeed manage to do that. Now that's going to come down as well to prevent anyone from pushing through that dark cover here. It's going to be the Viper's Pit to boot. HCM being the player to get that plan is going to make things even more difficult, and now this ult is going to cover not just side, but also towards the spawn there. That's going to be so difficult to clear out manually with this wall going up as well. Mimi has so much work to do. Amy in the corner gets the lineup, just nasty work there. Huge kills coming out, and that's all going to just be Mary. Mary can pull off magic, but in a 1v4 with the Viper's Pit, that's a little bit too much to ask even from her. Only going to be Roxy watching this particular angle, so she might be able to find the timing there.
When Acend have run into disruptants on the C side, they've always pivoted through Baby Door into that one, so the lurk has to be activated. They can try to pinch down now into Roxy just with that Sheriff, and Amy takes a nice timing to get the backstab. It's a safe plant down at the bottom of Pit, but with numbers here and control over rubble, it makes it almost impossible for Mimi to work back in through Baby Door. She has to worry about too many angles coming into that area. Schnell shuts her down. And now with the mollies here too, G2 are just forced completely away from the site.
Yeah, HTM willing to get a little bit aggressive, push off the back of it. Petra and Mary find 1 each. Mary still kicking, still fighting. A 1v3 does have a showstopper to work with, although nothing else really in their pocket. Mary trying to push out, but it's going to be Lateu finding and capitalizing on that final kill.
The rotations are relatively long for defenders. If they're not activating on that HTM, just opening that up, I'm not too sure what was going on there. Now losing any sort of lurk pressure towards A negates that as an option. But do you go to Killjoy on B? Do you go into the Viper on C? It's just miserable now for Acend, who are sort of trapped on the site. They have the Seekers to try and chase down into Roxy, but still the stall should end up being here unless Schnell coming above and below is able to find the kill and a second one too. There you go, they've got the site.
Yeah, not only taking down the Viper's Pit, but also they get so much control there. Once again, Schnell just being able to waltz into spawn. Now, things are going to be down to a 3v3. Amy again watching for this flank. This door opening business has not gone too well for the side of G2 here. Mary in a 1v3 scenario does have the showstopper to work with. Has to start with this first kill though. Does confirm it. There's still going to be the wraparound flank from Schnell. It's going to come down to timing here. How much more can Mary really find? Spots the elbow of the player, but not able to connect the kill. Pops the showstopper, goes for the wrong corner, expecting the crossfire to be there, but that's not going to be the case. Builds up the momentum that lets them steamroll. They're looking to go in towards this B site, where there's quite a bit of oppressive utility there in the corner. It's caught by the turret there. Mary is going to be pincered down and taken out by the Amy. Huge kill there with Mary being taken offline. The Killjoy utility does quite a bit of damage as well to Petra.
That'll decide the round potentially, with Roxy getting that kill. So much pressure put off of the two players playing inside Baby Door. Jade also sort of isolated away from the team, so walking into the smoke here is just not favorable at all. Petra finds that opener. Get onto the spike, popping on through it again. G2 clean up house on the satchels, or having the paint shells for plant denial and all that stuff is so powerful. Schnell, though, going to look to take any opening fights that she can, playing up on top of sight. And yeah, paint shells force her back just a little bit. Amy, this is her map. Hello.
Amy on the Killjoy. There's a reason why that's what shows up most in her stat sheet, and I feel like you mentioned, Overcooked. Perhaps Acend overcooked a little bit on Bind when they switched that roll around. Like, I love Viper on Bind, don't get me wrong, but Amy on Killjoy is just so intuitive for her on that agent. Major factor in why Acend had that 7-0 in groups, by the way. Now that Amy has shut down the lurk on B, G2, they've been left with almost no spacing on the map at all to deal with. Does put down a dark cover towards B to perhaps ensure that a little bit of that rotation stays that way, but Lateu, that's going to be the only player on this particular side, gets the information and will be falling back as the rest of Acend, they look to come forward here. Mary doesn't have the showstopper either, still 2 away. 2 paranoia. Amy on the 4 already, looking for the ace, and will be denied, but nevertheless, that's a huge round coming. They're just going to be booking it over towards this A site instead. just gonna be one player, in fact, trying to anchor it down. Though you already do see the rotation coming over from Amy here, who does have that lockdown, like you mentioned. So G2, they're gonna be forced to kind of go in for a very aggressive play here to enable that it's broken down.
Just gonna use the showstopper on it? Might as well.
Oh my God.
Trade the ult for ult. Giga Chad, she wants to use her again anyways. It's a little bit more fun than killing with abilities, I have to say. No lurk attempts for G2 to try and go into this retake, and actually Lateu was really slow to this play. Ascender heating up here without all 5 players ready. They might not need it though, because Ascend takes the first one. A couple are traded back on G2. 3-on-3 now is finally Lateu is going to enter this fight.
Spike is gonna be tacked. In fact, HTM looking to stick as much of it as she can. Jade for the cover, and now HTM just gonna be able to get the spike completely done.
Towards connector. Schnell finds that opening pick of the op. The op is online, everyone. And that's gonna be a constant worry for G2.
They finally managed to get it working, and if Schnell can hold on to it, a lot of these rounds that Ascend have been found so much success on in their previous matchups, it's been because of Schnell and her operator plays. Now G2, they look to contact into the C side here, and Mary, in fact, able to find a huge opener, picks up a rifle to boot. The rest of the team, they're forced to kind of fall back and play in for a retake scenario here in this 4v4, and suddenly, if that spike does go down, it's gonna make things so much more difficult for things to work out for Ascend, because they're gonna be kind of on the back foot with that operator to retake.
All this chip damage going to be very, very good for G2. Eyes will be on Mary with the rifle playing from backside.
Here.
Not doing too much damage. Roxy with the Sheriff as well as taking in, and that's going to give her the Viper's Pit to boot. These Sheriffs from G2 are doing so much damage. It's just going to be one player remaining. Schnell versus the world, and while she's spamming, Mary says, hey, let me show you how to use that gun.
Lynch.
Ooh, the jump peek as well. Doesn't quite detect Schnell, but she's gonna be able to get that kill. Almost gets away with her life, but Glance, unfortunately, not quite ready for it. Look at this position that Mary has managed to wrap around here. They will be able to take C for free completely as they look to get the spike down.
Yeah, I mean, just a great little pinch there onto Schnell. No one to help her out. 4 players trying to get back into the site. Lateu could use the ultimate just to try and scout out some areas of the site, but they're trying to line up these flashes. It hits the teammate though. Amy's completely blinded. Doesn't matter as G2 fall back regardless. But
Oh no.
HTM with the judge popping into the smoke. It doesn't work out. And now there's 2 fronts that Ascend have to worry about G2 players being on. Yeah, main is a huge problem as Glance finds the first kill. Waterfall as well as this wrap up to heaven from Petra. There's just nothing Ascend can do. An aggro play, and they are going all the way in. It is too much. Roxy swings off the alarm and finds 2 kills. Yeah, just a bit of a throwaway there from Ascend as they go straight into the waiting arms. G2 literally just knew they were going to do that somehow. I don't know.
The word here is no, it's not even an eco round or something, right? It's a full buy coming in for this team. They go one by one into the waiting arms of G2, and G2 does not treat them very kindly. Mary with the paint shell is able to find Jade as well, and now Amy, she's been phenomenal over the course of this map, but in this kind of 1v5 scenario, it's going to be so difficult for her to do anything at all. She's still going to be trying to scale up though. Probably trying to find a pick or 2 at least before being taken down. But unfortunately, Mimi more than ready for it, just waiting, watching for that flank.
Try something, opening up the door, but there's a counter paranoia, a collat from Schnell. They're back in the round.
Oh my, that's why she opened the door. Amy tries to push a little bit forward, trying to get the wraparound, but Mimi will be able to trade it out, bringing things back down to a 3v3. Seekers as well, giving her information that this is in fact going to be where that spike is eventually going down. No more ultimates apart from Mimi's lockdown, which probably they're going to try not to use unless it's really necessary here. Mary in the corner, holding strong. Schnell though still with the operator, getting the 3rd kill on the round here, picks up the rifle as well to try and aggress forward, but with the clock having ticked as far as it has, this lockdown, it's gonna have to be respected. And G2, after that spike has gone down, they have bought so much time here. There's gonna be nanoswarms on the spike to boot to make things even worse, and honestly, if the only hope is if Lateu can stick the spike kind of down, you do see the attempt to do so. It does get halfway through. Schnell finds the 4th kill, but Mimi there for the trade.
Ascend starting to read this a little bit. They've got such great stall utility on this side of the map now that maybe there's an option Jade will send the flash out, get some information, at least one player here, but G2 haven't been crazy with the lurk, so they may be able to read this will be a little bit heavier. The Seekers are going to tell G2 instantly, 3 players on the site, and give a track that Mary can follow if they want to commit in.
30 seconds left.
With 30 seconds left, they're debating their shooter. They want to go towards B instead. Mary will be leading the charge, and off the satchel finds a clean headshot. Schnell going down. That's going to make the site look very, very juicy, and G2 aren't one to take up. Leave it free now. Mimi and Glance as well, pushing the issue here towards spawn. The showstopper as well for Mary. That's just overkill at this point, quite literally. And Lateu, just a Spectre in hand. Another paint shell. Mary does not run out of utility, especially when she's popping off like that. I don't know how much more Lateu can really do here. Tries to fake the teleport, causes people to at least look behind them, but it might just be the turret or the satchel or this brutal spray down coming in to finally end her fate.
It is just pain and suffering for Acend. They were leading at the half. They started off the second half looking strong, but G2
very aggressive. Crossfire being held by these players. Jade looking to push a little bit forward. Mary finds the first kill. So Amy finds the first kill, but Roxy gets that quick trade. Oh, if that play had worked out, it would have been insane, but unfortunately, that's not going to be the case. And in the meantime, Glance on the site, able to find not just Schnell, but also HTM, leaving things in such a bad position here. Amy is able to at least catch Mimi with her gun out, but that's going to be that. Roxy will clean things out, and G2, they take it 2-0, but the second map, that was so close.